Engines roared as the scout ship Rilvarin descended into the sealed vault orbiting Anthema Prime. The ancient station trembled, protesting the intrusion. Inside, Commander Vile's translator glitched as it processed the archaic code. But the directive was clear. If you detect signals from the Sol system, do not engage. Why? Vile's second-in-command, Yili, stared at the glowing glyphs. It's thousands of cycles old, predates Council history. He shook his crest. What's in the Sol system? Vile didn't answer. His eyes locked on a single pulsar-dated signature. Earth had transmitted a signal just weeks ago. The warning wasn't just ancient, it was active. He made his decision. Plot a course for Sul. Yili hesitated. That's a death order. Vael replied coldly. Then bury me with history. He didn't notice the archive's failsafes activating. As they left, deep below the surface, black nodes lit up, relaying his defiance across dormant relay chains that hadn't blinked in eons. The Rilvarin dropped out of slipspace near the Sol system's outer rim. No defenses, no patrols, just silence. Then a signal pinged back. A single, lonely beacon orbiting Neptune. Human-made. Alive. No mistake, Yili whispered. They're still here. The forbidden system wasn't dead. It was waiting. Vile's comm crackled. Unknown vessel. You are trespassing in Sol jurisdiction. Identify immediately. The voice, calm, human, and unmistakably curious, unsettled them more than aggression would have. Vile leaned forward. This is Commander Vile of the Atrenic Scout Corps. We come, in defiance of an old order. Silence. Then a new voice spoke. Vile, you shouldn't have come. The signal cut. A pulse wave knocked the Rilvarin off vector. Shields holding, Yili cried. But something was pulling them. Not weaponry, technology. Ancient, elegant, human. As the ship was towed toward the Neptune station, Vile realized. They'd stepped into a story the galaxy wasn't meant to remember. The human station, Outpost Icarus, gleamed with solar shielding and 400-year-old alloys. Too old to be operational, too perfect to be accidental. The doors opened on their own. Vile stepped inside, exosuit sealed. Inside, a man stood by a projection of the galaxy. Welcome, he said. I'm Elias Caney, Keeper of Signal. Vile stepped forward. You're human. Elias gave a dry smile. And you're late. The galaxy was supposed to come centuries ago. He gestured to the map. Dozens of dead worlds linked by a pattern. Spirals, fractals, deep genetic dispersals. You came because the warning failed, didn't you? Vile nodded. Elias sighed. I warned them this would happen. Caney tapped a console. Now that you've broken the seal, others will follow. The directive held the stars together. Now. He turned slowly. Now they'll remember where they came from. Vale asked the question burning in him. Did humans seed the stars? Elias simply said, No, we seeded you. Caney led Vale deeper into Outpost Icarus, past living walls of nanofiber and memory foam corridors. You were never meant to find us, he said. Not until you were ready. He gestured to a chamber of preserved DNA strands. Human, yet not quite. We didn't conquer the stars. We cultivated them. Yili stared at the strands. That's illegal manipulation. Genetic seeding, council law, forbids it. Caney looked him dead in the eye. Who do you think wrote those laws? He pointed to a crystalline shard embedded in the ceiling. That's Earth's oldest signal array. It doesn't transmit data. It transmits memory. Suddenly, a ripple of energy pulsed through the station. Someone else just entered Sol space, Caney whispered. They followed your trail, Commander. On Rilvarin's deck, proximity alerts screamed. A Council war scanner was decloaking. Vial clenched his jaw. Then, history is about to become war. From the far dark of the Kuiper Belt, a fleet materialized. No insignias, no council transponders. Whisper class, Caney muttered. Built for silent war. Black archive strikes. Vial looked stunned. These shouldn't exist anymore. Caney corrected him. No, they shouldn't remember they exist anymore. The fleet opened comms. One voice unfeeling. Purge the breach. Yili activated Rilvarin's cloak, but Caney raised his hand. Don't run. Watch. He keyed a signal into the station. Above Earth, 20 dormant satellites ignited in perfect synchronization. The Whisper fleet stopped mid-burn. Systems frozen. Caney explained, these satellites hold fail-safe commands hard-coded into all Council-era AIs. Ancestral override. Vial's voice dropped. You're telling me Earth built the Council? Caney's eyes were hard. No. Earth allowed it. We erased ourselves so you could grow without us. The Whisper fleet began to retreat. But not all. One destroyer launched drones toward Icarus. Caney turned. And not all children forget to hate their parents. The drone swarm hit Outpost Icarus like a storm of shadows. Vial's crew scrambled, activating defense turrets and plasma nets, but the drones phased through shields with uncanny precision. They're hunting the signal core, Yili shouted. Caney's fingers flew over the console, weaving countermeasures into the nanowall's matrix. Hold the line, Vial barked. Protect the core at all costs. Outside, the station's transparent hull shimmered as the drones pierced the outer layers. Vial's heart pounded. If the core fell, the ancient memory locked within would be lost forever, along with the truth that could topple empires. Caney turned grim. They don't just want to kill us, they want to bury the past. In the corridors, hidden sensors detected another incoming wave. Silent, faster, smarter. The Whisper fleet isn't finished. Neither am I. Vial gritted his teeth, ready for war in the cradle of history. Council warships blinked out of hyperspace at the Sol system's border. Admiral Trell, eyes cold as obsidian, stared at the tactical hologram. Vial's rogue actions have endangered galactic stability. Her voice was ice-wrapped in steel. We must enforce the directive. In the briefing room, her officers debated the risks. If the truth escapes, it could unravel the Council's authority. Trell nodded. Precisely why silence must be maintained. Outside, a fleet of battlecruisers surged forward, engines pulsing like dark hearts. Admiral Trell keyed a secure comm. Deploy the Black Suns. A shadow fleet older than the Council itself. No survivors, no witnesses. The Sol system would be erased from memory if necessary. But unknown to her, a new variable stirred in the void. Humanity's lost heirs waking. On Earth's moon base, Lieutenant Mara tuned a fading signal. Static burst, then a whisper. Help. Awakening. Her breath caught. The transmission matched no known human tech. She traced its source beneath the lunar surface to sealed vaults long forgotten. Her AI assistant flickered warnings. Unauthorized access detected, sealing lockdown in 10 seconds. But Mara's curiosity overrode caution. She cracked open a stasis pod, revealing a figure, an ancient human ancestor genetically engineered for space survival. Eyes fluttered open. Who am I? The figure asked, voice fragile but curious. Mara's mind raced. Earth was no longer just a backwater. The secrets beneath the moon might hold the key to the Sol directive and humanity's true role in the stars. In the Council's capital, delegates from 12 species gathered, tension thick in the air. The secret of Earth's existence had leaked. Some called for immediate eradication, others whispered of negotiation. Ambassador Kelvek of the Zerith tried to mediate. We face a truth older than the Council. Perhaps our laws are built on lies. But Counselor Ressa snarled, lies that keep us alive. If Earth's heritage destabilizes us, we will be overthrown. The chamber erupted. Amidst the chaos, Vale's message broadcasted across secured frequencies. The sole directive is a chain, and the chain is breaking. The galaxy listened. Fear, hope, and defiance ignited like a supernova on the edge of collapse. The Whisper fleet returned, cloaked in void shadows. Outpost Icarus is prepared for siege. Vael stood at the command bridge, eyes blazing. This station holds more than memories. It holds the future. Yili fired the first plasma salvo. Streaks of blue tearing the darkness. Caney worked the ancient interface, activating the station's hidden defenses. A web of nanite swarms, plasma grids, and AI sentinels long dormant. The drones shattered against the shield, but the fleet adapted, deploying new tactics. Admiral Trell's forces are closing in, Caney warned. We must hold until reinforcements arrive, or die trying. Vael tightened his grip. Then we fight, not just for survival, but for the truth buried beneath the stars. Engines roared as a hidden fleet burst from Sol's outer shadow. Earth's clandestine cruisers, masked in stealth tech centuries ahead of the Council, surged toward Outpost Icarus. Lieutenant Mara's voice crackled in Vael's calm. "We're here, ready to tip the scales." The Whisper fleet hesitated, scanning the new threat. Caney's eyes gleamed. They thought Earth dormant. They were wrong. Plasma blasts met pulse beams in a deadly dance. Vael shouted orders, weaving ships through asteroid debris. The battle was no longer about secrets. It was survival for all life tethered to the truth. A council officer, Commander Draelis, contacted Vael in secret. "There's a faction within the council aiding the Whisper fleet." Vael's jaw clenched. "Traitors?" Draelis nodded grimly. "They fear the directive's collapse will unravel their power." Behind Vael, alarms blared, drones breached the outer defenses. Draelis' message was cut short by an explosion. Vael's heart thundered. "We fight enemies without and traitors within." The battlefield had become a web of deception. In the heart of Outpost Icarus, Caney revealed the memory core, a crystalline device storing the galaxy's lost histories and genetic blueprints. "This is why they want us destroyed," he said. "The core holds proof Earth shaped the Council's creation and the galaxy's destiny." Vael touched the core's surface, feeling the hum of millennia. "If this falls, everything we know will change." Suddenly, the station shuddered. The Whisper fleet launched a massive assault to claim the core, threatening to erase history itself. Mara's discovery beneath the moon revealed the lost protocol, a command embedded in human DNA that could awaken dormant fleets and weapons hidden across the stars. If activated, it could end the war, or start a galaxy-wide purge, Mara explained. Vael realized the weight of choice. The galaxy balanced on a razor's edge between annihilation and rebirth. "We must control the protocol," he said, "before it controls us." The battle for Outpost Icarus reached a fever pitch. Explosions rocked the station, firestorms flaring in the vacuum. Yet amidst chaos, Caney broadcasted a galaxy-wide message. "We are not what we were told. The stars belong to no one. The truth is freedom." Vael watched the stars burn through shattered glass. The galaxy held its breath, caught between old fears and new hope. The sole directive was no longer a secret. It was a revolution. The Council's chambers burned with dissent. Ambassador Kelvec demanded a ceasefire. Others called for total annihilation. Admiral Trell's cold decree held sway. The directive must be enforced. Yet whispers of rebellion spread. Some saw the humans as liberators, others as threats. Vael's broadcast echoed through comm channels, sowing doubt and defiance. The galaxy was no longer united but fractured, teetering on the edge of civil war. Vael convened a clandestine summit aboard the battered Rilvarin. Representatives from rebel factions arrived, Zirith, Vishari, and even former Council loyalists disillusioned by lies. They forged a fragile alliance, bound by shared knowledge of the directive's truth. Caney warned, "This alliance is fragile, built on secrets and necessity. Trust must be earned in blood and steel." Yet hope sparked. Together, they planned to break the Whisper Fleet's hold and expose the Council's hidden past. Unknown to the Alliance, a silent infiltrator slipped aboard the summit vessel, a shapeshifter loyal to the Whisper Fleet. Moving through shadows, it gathered secrets, ready to betray the fragile coalition at the worst moment. Vale's instincts prickled. He tightened security, but the true danger was unseen and deadly. Trust was a weapon as sharp as any blade. Caney decoded fragments from the memory core, revealing an ancient Code of the Ancients, a blueprint for galactic governance buried beneath myths. It spoke of caretakers who seeded life, then vanished to watch from afar. The code implied Earth's role was neither accidental nor conquest, but stewardship. Vael's mind raced. Could the galaxy's fractured powers embrace a new order, or was it doomed to repeat the cycle of betrayal? The infiltrator struck. During a critical briefing, alarms blared as vital systems were hacked. Secrets spilled across enemy channels, plans, locations, weaknesses. The Whisper Fleet closed in faster than predicted. Vael stared at the betrayal's face on the security feed. A trusted officer. Rage and heartbreak collided. The war was no longer just for truth. It was a test of loyalty, sacrifice, and the survival of hope itself. Betrayed and cornered, Vael ordered a rapid retreat into the Nebula Veil. Engines roared as Rilvarin weaved through dense gas clouds, pursued relentlessly by Whisper Fleet drones. Yili recalibrated the shields, sweat beading his brow. "We can't outrun them forever," he warned. Vael clenched his jaw. "Then we fight smarter." Hidden among cosmic storms, the Alliance prepared ambushes, using the nebula's secrets as weapons. The hunt was on, but the prey had become the predator. Caney activated an ancient projection from the memory core, a holographic archive revealing the Seeders, enigmatic beings who had once sown life across galaxies. Their motives were inscrutable, their power godlike. The projection showed Earth as a central node, not the origin, but a cradle for new life forms. "We are children of children," Caney whispered, and the Seeder's purpose was never conquest. It was evolution. The revelation shook the Alliance's foundation, forcing new questions about identity and destiny. The Alliance struck back, targeting the Void Spire, a secret Whisper Fleet base hidden inside a dying star's corona. Plasma beams sliced through solar winds, starships dancing on the edge of destruction. Vael led the assault with ruthless precision. Destroy their command nodes. Sever their control. But the spire was protected by ancient tech, defenses that warped reality itself. As battle raged, Vael glimpsed something unexpected, a human symbol etched into the spire's core. The war was more personal than anyone realized. Amidst the ruins of the Void Spire, Caney discovered logs from a vanished civilization, records of an ancient pact between humans and the Seeders. "Our ancestors chose to become myths," he said, voice heavy, "to protect this secret and to watch." Vael listened, torn between awe and dread. If humanity's past was entwined with cosmic architects, what did that mean for their future? The galaxy's fate hinged on answers buried in eons-old shadows. The Council fragmented as rebellions flared across multiple systems. Admiral Trell's grip weakened under pressure. Vael's alliance gained momentum, rallying diverse species to the cause of truth and freedom. But the Whisper Fleet adapted, unleashing new weapons, void storms that scrambled sensors, and deadly quantum rifts threatening to unravel star systems. The battle for the galaxy was far from over. As the rising tide of war surged, Vael knew one thing: the true war was just beginning. Amidst battle chaos, a faint, eerie transmission pierced Vael's comm, a ghost signal from Earth's lost probe activated after centuries in silence. The message was simple, cryptic. Remember who you are. Caney analyzed the frequency. It's a beacon, a call to awaken. Vial's heart tightened. The probe's activation meant old powers were stirring. The galaxy held its breath as forgotten histories began to surface from the void. A shadowy figure emerged from the Alliance's ranks, an alien seer known only as the Oracle. Draped in flowing silks that shimmered like stars, she warned, the directive's collapse will unravel more than history. It will awaken the ancients, entities beyond council or cedars. Vial frowned. Entities like what? The Oracle's gaze darkened. Destroyers, keepers of balance. If they rise, no side will survive unscathed. The warning cast a cold shadow over their fragile hopes. Rebel fleets shattered council blockades, freeing imprisoned worlds. Hope blossomed even as casualties mounted. Vial broadcasted a message of unity. We are no longer slaves to history. The directive's chains are broken. But in the shadows, the Whisper Fleet regrouped, harnessing the lost protocol Mara uncovered. With it, they aimed to reset the galaxy's clock, wiping the slate clean at any cost. Mara raced against time to control the lost protocol. In a hidden vault beneath the moon, she decrypted the final codes, keys to a network of weapons and dormant fleets scattered by ancient humans. Activating them meant ultimate power, or devastation. Vial's voice steadied. We must wield this wisely. The wrong choice will ignite annihilation. The Alliance held its breath as Mara's fingers hovered over the activation sequence. The Whisper Fleet launched a desperate all-out assault on Outpost Icarus. Starfire rained down, metal screamed, and the station shuddered under relentless attack. Vial stood on the bridge, eyes blazing with determination. Hold the line. For truth. For freedom. Caney activated the memory core's final defense, a radiant burst of energy that illuminated the dark void like a new dawn. The battle's tide turned, but the cost was yet unknown. The galaxy's fate teetered on a knife's edge. Explosions tore through Outpost Icarus, sending shards of metal and fire into the void. Vial's voice cracked over the comm. Damage report. Systems flickered. Life support waned. Yet the station's core held steady, glowing with ancient energy. Yili steadied his hands, rerouting power. We can last longer, but not forever. Caney's gaze fixed on the memory core's pulsing light. The past fights with us now. Hope and desperation collided under the shattered stars. The Oracle's prophecy materialized. Deep beneath a dying sun, colossal shadows stirred. Ancient sentinels, dormant for millennia, awoke with thunderous roars, their presence warping space-time. Council and rebels alike paused, stunned by the celestial earthquake. Vial stared upward. The ancients are real. The galaxy faced not just war, but an existential reckoning beyond comprehension. Caney unveiled the final truth from the memory core. The Cedars were themselves creations, descendants of the ancients, guardians meant to nurture life until the ancients could return. This cycle has repeated, Caney said softly. The directive was designed to buy time. Now the wheel turns again. Vial felt the weight of destiny pressed down, hope tempered by inevitability. Admiral Trell deployed a desperate weapon, a temporal bomb designed to erase Outpost Icarus and its secrets from existence. If we cannot control the truth, no one will, she declared coldly. Vial's eyes burned. We will not be erased. As the countdown began, alliances scrambled to disarm the device. The future of history itself balanced on a razor's edge. In a final act of defiance, Vial and Mara combined the memory core's energy with the lost protocol. The fusion ignited a brilliant nova that healed the station's wounds and stabilized the temporal bomb's countdown. Together, Vial declared, we are stronger than our past. The galaxy watched as light pierced darkness, proof that unity could defy even annihilation. The Whisper fleet launched their ultimate strike, pouring wave after wave of ships toward Outpost Icarus. Vile commanded with fierce precision, rallying Allied forces to form an unbreakable shield. Plasma storms clashed in the void, a furious ballet of light and destruction. Kaney's voice echoed. The core is our last hope. As enemy fire breached the outer ring, Vile steeled himself. The fate of the galaxy was in their hands. From the depths of space, the Ancients arrived, a colossal presence that silenced all weapons. Their towering forms radiated immense power, casting shadows over the battlefield. The galaxy held its breath. The Oracle's voice whispered in Vale's mind. They judge us not by war, but by the choices we make now. The final verdict awaited. The Ancients projected a vision, showing the tangled web of life, the rise and fall of civilizations, and the seeding of stars. Earth was revealed as a nexus, a beacon for evolution, not conquest. Vile stepped forward. We seek peace, not dominion. The Ancients' glow softened. Their judgment was clear. The galaxy's future would be shaped by unity and understanding. The Council dissolved, replaced by a new order founded on truth and cooperation. Vile and Mara stood among representatives of all species, drafting the new directive, one that embraced heritage and diversity. Kaney smiled softly. The stars belong to all who choose to reach for them. The galaxy exhaled, a fragile piece born from ashes. Engines roared as a new fleet launched from Earth and beyond, not as conquerors, but explorers and guardians. Vile's final words echoed across the stars. We are all children of the Cedars. It is time to grow together. As dawn broke over the Sol system, a new chapter began, written by all, for all. Peace was fragile. In the deep shadows of uncharted space, an ancient beacon flickered to life, sending a cryptic pulse coded in a language lost to all but a few. Mara's calm crackled. This isn't over. Something is awakening beyond our reach. Vile stared at the stars, unease settling in. The galaxy's wounds had barely begun to heal, and new threats whispered in the darkness. Unknown watchers observed from distant orbits, enigmatic entities whose technology bent light and perception. They called themselves the Custodians, guardians of cosmic balance. Their verdict was pending. Kaney warned, they judge not just actions, but intentions. Our new unity is under a microscope. One misstep, and we risk erasure. A derelict fleet emerged from hyperspace, ships covered in the dust of centuries. No records existed of their origin. Vale's fleet intercepted the ghost convoy, its silent halls hiding secrets that could unravel the new directive. Mara explored a command bridge where AI logs whispered of a mission never completed. The past was reaching out, demanding answers. Kaney struggled with visions, glimpses of a collective memory that conflicted with reality. His mind fractured under the weight of centuries-old secrets. The Cedar's true legacy is not only creation, but control, he murmured. Vale confronted him. We trusted you with history. But what if history itself is a cage? The line between ally and adversary blurred. Deep in a hidden vault, the original directive lay encoded on a crystalline shard, a failsafe written by the Cedars themselves. It warned of a final choice, evolution or extinction. Vile's voice was steady as he prepared to broadcast the truth galaxy-wide. The last directive is ours to write. The fate of all life balanced on a whisper. Vile stood before the crystalline shard, its light reflecting the weight of destiny. Evolution or extinction, he murmured. The galaxy waited, each species holding its breath. Mara's fingers hovered over the comm console. Are we ready to face ourselves? He nodded. We have no choice but to choose. The broadcast began, carrying the Cedar's final message across the stars. The transmission rippled through space-time, awakening dormant fleets, stirring ancient powers and igniting sparks of rebellion and hope alike. Worlds shifted alliances, Old grudges thawed under the pressure of a shared future. Caney whispered, "We're not just rewriting history. We're forging it." The galaxy trembled on the cusp of transformation. The custodians revealed themselves, immense and inscrutable, their forms woven from light and shadow. Their verdict echoed in every mind. Your unity is tentative but promising. The path forward demands vigilance. Vial bowed his head. We accept your judgment. The Watchers became guardians, silent sentinels guiding the rebirth of the stars. With new alliances forged, the Council reborn as a true coalition, and the new directive guiding all, the galaxy stepped into a fragile dawn. Ships from Earth and countless worlds sailed together, explorers and protectors. Vial watched the horizon, voice steady. Together, we are the Cedars now. Hope blossomed in the vastness. Engines roared anew as fleets charted unexplored space, the legacy of the Cedars alive in every star. The past's shadows lingered, but the future was theirs to write. Vial's final log echoed across the void. In the vast silence, we find our voice. The stars are endless, and so is our journey. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story, or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.